welcome to this very special interview with His Holiness, the 14th Dalai Lama, Tenzin Gyatso, who has just celebrated his 80th birthday, 56 of which years he has spent right here in India. Your Holiness, welcome to India today, and from all of us, a very happy birthday.
Thank you.
Your Holiness, I'd like to start by asking you, a few days ago, I was in Dharamsala in McLeodganj, where we were witness to these very beautiful ceremonies in honor of your long life. And it struck me that of these 80 years, you have spent 56 long years in India.
Of course, one aspect, become refugee, lost our own country. And on top of that, a lot of sort of sad sort of events. However, over 1,000 years, Tibet and India, something very, very unique, close relation. We always consider Indians, traditionally, our guru. All the knowledge, you see, we kept over 1,000 years, all come from India. Mm-hmm. So then, even you see, before 1959, you see, many remote Tibetan area, some old people, you see, they always, you see, wish or try one pilgrimage to Bodh Gaya.
To Bodh Gaya?
So, yes, something like Mecca to Muslim people. So Bodh Gaya, like you say, all Buddhists, this is something very close in their heart. So now, since become refugee, now, say, quite often, whenever I want to make pilgrimage to Bodh Gaya, free, very easily reach there. So therefore, in a way, the home, my body, lost. But home spirituality, now I remain more or less now over 56 years, very happily. Then also, because of India's freedom, I have opportunity meeting with different spiritual practitioners, scholars, and also just number of scientists. So really,
do you still think of yourself as a refugee?
No, I am longest guest of Indian government.
Okay.
But of course, one way I'm a refugee.
So would you like to go home? Would you like to go back to Tibet?
Yes, because as a Tibetan, I think over 90% trust me. So they very much sort of eager seeing me. And also, I have full confidence I can serve Buddha Dharma.
Inside Tibet?
Inside Tibet, I think.
But if you go back to Tibet, in case there is such an opportunity, are you saying that you will be a spiritual leader only, or will you be, as all the Dalai Lamas before, also a temporal leader, also a political leader?
That is since I think my childhood, I noticed, you see, the political sort of system of these things, I'm outdated. I really feel. So I took the political responsibility, I think in 1950. Then around I think 1952, 53, I set a reform committee to change these things. Then as soon as reach India, we start at once work for democratization. Then 2001, then I semi-retired position. We already have elected political leadership.
Yes.
Then 2011, now I totally sort of retired.
So you're only a spiritual leader today?
And then not only myself retired, but also it's a 4-century-old tradition. Dalai Lama institution automatically become head of both temporal and spirituality, now formally, voluntarily, proudly, happily ended. So then, future Dalai Lama, in case, whether you see future Dalai Lama, also you see, as early as 69, one my formal sort of statement, I mentioned the very institution of Dalai Lama should continue or not up to Tibetan people.
Yeah, but I'd like to ask you, Your Holiness, would you like to assure the Chinese government that there is no way that the people of Tibet, inside Tibet, would like to split from the country?
If may I say so,
yes.
You see, many sort of officials, particularly hardliner, you see, they cannot see the reality. Their information, whole their life, you see, they grown up one-sided information.
So what is the reality, Your Holiness?
What the reality is, you see, Tibet, like 7th century, 8th century, 9th century, at that time, there were 3 empires. Chinese Empire, Tibetan Empire, Mongolian Empire. So past is past.
Yeah, but in today's China,
I always admire the spirit of European Union and also India's union. Before India's independence, many small kingdoms or rajas.
Right.
Now time change. It's quite foolish. One small raja say, I'm independent country. I want to be sovereign state.
So Tibet doesn't want to be...
So therefore, you see, we Tibet, historically separate country. However, we are looking forward. So Tibet, materially backward. You see, it is our interest remain within the People's Republic of China. At the same time, we should have full sort of authority to take care about our culture, our rich Buddhist tradition, knowledge, and then environment. Then okay, that's a mutual benefit. Now to China. I think over 400 million Buddhist population there.
Right.
Many of them.
Inside mainland China?
Yes, mainland China.
400 million
yes.
Chinese Buddhists?
Yes. So many of them, you see, really are trying to learn more from Tibetan Buddhist tradition.
Have you met any of these Chinese mainlanders?
Oh, now.
Yeah.
Now, since recent years, annually, number of Chinese from mainland China is to come. And then many of these Chinese, when they sort of receiving some my talk, my explanation
Teachings.
about Buddhism,
Yes.
you see, many of them tear. Almost, I think, all these audiences come from mainland China, always tear.
So why is it, Your Holiness, then, that the talks between yourself or your special representatives and the government in China, in Beijing, but they have not been successful?
Yes, you see, I think deliberately, they know, many of them, they know we are not seeking independence.
Okay.
We are not separatist. However, you see, those hardliner, they simply do not want me return. Therefore, you see, they deliberately try to create impression Dalai Lama as a splittist. So then naturally, we are genuine splittist. Then of course, they have certain right. Some of them, Chinese officials, describe me as a demon.
Oh, God.
So when you say, I heard that, I respond, yes, I am demon. With whom? Dangerous person, dangerous demon.
But the current president of the government of China, of the People's Republic, he's General Secretary of the Communist Party of China, Xi Jinping.
That's right.
You met his father.
I know, yes.
His mother is I believe, she is a devout Buddhist.
Yes, yes.
So what do you think of that?
So I think certainly, not only him, but many Chinese official, civilian, military, so outwardly atheist as Communist Party member.
No, so you were saying...
But internally, you see, many of them Buddhist.
But when did you meet Xi Jinping's father?
Very nice.
Nice man?
At that time, you see, when I was in Peking, the Xi Zhongshan, I think Chief Secretary of Zhuangli.
Yes.
So among the officials, high officials, Chinese officials, is it considered Xi Jinping, quite smart sort of leader. So I know him. And then the Xi Jinping, now his son. It seems to see some sort of impact
Of his father.
His father, and then after 59, his father become very close sort of friend with late Tenzin Lama. Then in early 80, my fact-finding delegation opportunity to visit China. Then the Xi Jinping, the governor of Guangdong, so my delegation met him. Then at that meeting, Xi Jinping showed one watch and told, my delegation, that watch he received 950, I think 55 from Dalai Lama. So he expressed before his death, he wished to see Dalai Lama. He mentioned like that.
So he's still wearing your watch? He was still wearing the watch you gave him?
At that time, yes. Now, Xi Jinping, when he visited Europe and also Delhi,
yes,
he publicly expressed Buddhism is something important part of Chinese culture.
Would you like to meet him, Your Holiness?
So this is something quite surprising. A Chinese communist leader, that party wants to very much sort of consider all spirituality is something backward, particularly Buddhism. Now that very party's chief now saying something positive about Buddhism is quite sort of surprising. I think may I say so, I think he too much sort of overweight. So that I think he should take some care, more exercise.
You think he should lose some weight?
Oh yes, I think it's better.
Okay.
So in any way, I really admire, his courage. And his thinking, judging his sort of activities looks more realistic. That's important.
But Your Holiness, there was a big rumor when Xi Jinping came to Delhi last year, to India last year. There was a big rumor in Delhi that yourself, Your Holiness, you and he were going to have a meeting.
Yes, my friend, some Chinese.
Okay.
Having that sort of the idea or that wish. Me too. But then, of course, it's not easy.
You wanted to meet him?
Yes, I always want to meet any Chinese leader. One time, I was in America. Then I was in, I think, Texas or something, in southern
USA.
Southern USA. Then Wu Jintao visit, maybe Wu Jintao, or some high Chinese leaders visiting Washington. So at that time, I sent a message. If, if possible, I want to meet them. Like that. This is better. So we have truth. You see?
But what
the power of truth. You see? Because of power of truth, I always was happy meet people. And not only my own case, I always telling, including these Muslim terrorists and including Buddhist terrorists in Burma, I want to meet them as a human brothers sisters. Hugging
Embrace
together. Then try to solve problem which created by human being. Now must solve through human way, not by gun.
So you think you and Xi Jinping can come together and resolve the problems of Tibet?
I don't know. I have no direct responsibility about Tibetan problem. But as I mentioned earlier, my firm belief, all problems should solve through human way. That means talk, meet, talk, not suppression. Now over nearly 60 years, I think around 60 years, unfortunately, the communist sort of system sometimes I sort of expressing, they are worshipper of gun. One time, Chairman Mao himself used to express power from battle of gun.
Yeah.
That's during wartime or civil war time, yes, that kind of thinking is relevant. But the peacetime, no, that's harmful. So as a Chinese communist, when I first met Chairman Mao Zedong and all the top leaders in Peking, I really admire, I really very much impressed. They truly dedicated serving people, particularly the working class people who suffer most. So I really admire. So at that time, I so much impressed the Communist Party. So I expressed, I want to join Chinese Communist Party. Still, as far as socio-economic theory is concerned, I am Marxist. There's no secrecy. So China, I think hopefully, now eventually, should become open-minded, open society, communist, socialist country. Then much better. Everybody's interest. Therefore, China can make, I think, a significant contribution for world affairs. For that, respect, trust from rest of the world is very essential.
Yeah.
The secret society, everything stays secret. Oh, that is very harmful in order to develop trust.
But why is it that with the Chinese, every time you say the word Dalai Lama and something happens to them, it's like a red rag. They get very angry and very upset.
Because they consider me as a demon. Demon with Buddhist robe.
Oh. Would you like the Indian government to assist or help you in any way in your talks with China?
I think not only India, but the free world, have some responsibility, to solve any human community where, unnecessary, suffering there, including Burma, all these countries. Burma, neighbor country. India, I think, should take
greater interest.
Some active sort of role.
We should play a more active role, you think, in the resolution of the Tibetan issue?
Yes, I feel. Actually, Tibetan problem is also, Tibet issue is also issue of India. Our relation is something very unique. So sometimes I sort of jokingly expressing, Tibet is first line of India's defense, first line. So long, Tibetan culture, Tibetan spirituality remain there. There's something like first defense line.
And many people feel your holiness.
And then sometimes I talking, I expressing.
No.
India is our guru. Tibet, India's chela. So when chela having some problem, guru also have the responsibility to take it, to help.
You had very good relations with Nehru, with Jawaharlal Nehru.
Oh yes. So close since '56. My first meeting, Pandit Nehru in Peking.
I see.
The state dinner party, hosted by Choale. We just lining. With help of Choale, Pandit Nehru come, and Choale introduce each person. Then my side, my case, when Nehru reached here, and Choale introduced this is Dalai Lama. Nehru, some kind of motionless, speechless. I feel a little bit embarrassed.
Why?
Then I really felt, perhaps 20, 30 seconds, and you remember that, I felt he also reflect Sardar Patel's the expression or warning. Then I had the opportunity to come to India. Then I met Pandit Nehru several times. we really developed personally very close sort of friendship, and I received a lot of sort of useful advice from him. Then one occasion, you see, he mentioned also America will not go to war with China in order to liberate Tibet. He told me. So it is better to deal with directly with Chinese leaders. And then he mentioned, you see, this point, this point. Very, very useful advice.
Since Pandit Nehru, since 1959, you have had very close relations with all the Prime Ministers of India.
Right.
What about Prime Minister Modi? You've met him as well, haven't you?
Oh, yes. I know. This is when he was Chief Minister of Gujarat.
Yeah.
So when they found some old, I don't know, relic or some from archaeology, some sort of Nalanda tribe, some kind of sort of temples or monks sort of place like that. So he organized some meeting, and I went there, and I met him. Not only the function, but also he came to my room, the hotel, and I had some sort of discussion. I was very much impressed, like that. So then, after he became Prime Minister, he very, very active.
But you met him when he became Prime Minister also, didn't you?
Oh, yes, one very brief. And I don't know. I think ask him better.
But it was a brief meeting.
I mean, with the top secrecy, so I think better to ask him.
Okay.
I do not want to explain that.
Okay. In Dharamshala, a few days ago, when they were celebrating your birthday according to the Buddhist calendar, the monks were...
Tibetan calendar.
Tibetan calendar. The monks were praying for your long life. And they said that you will live up to 113 years.
Mysteriously, my dream, you see, indicated my sort of destination of my life, 113. But now I doubt. Now, you see, I feel more and more sort of feeling of tiredness. So now 80 years, and there also, as I mentioned, there is some kind of sort of a birthday sort of celebration. 80 years old. Now I'm looking forward to 90 years old, then perhaps 100-year-old, but then I doubt.
So, Your Holiness, you will make a decision on the next Dalai Lama?
I have not much concern about this institution or future 15th Dalai Lama. So sometimes it seems the Chinese government more concerned about 15th Dalai Lama than me. I am not much concerned. So sometimes jokingly, you see, telling people or expressing, you see, people the cease or end of now almost the 6th, 7th century old this institution, and or cease at the time the 14th Dalai Lama quite popular. That's much better. Then the 15th Dalai Lama come, eventually become disgrace. That's much worse.
That's not possible, Your Holiness, but thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for speaking to India today. And we wish you many, many years of very, very good health and happiness.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.